more than my mind can comprehend. See, I've seen the wonders of your grace. I'm so sure this is not the end. Oh, see how far you brought me. I'm so glad you found me worthy. I can see, I can tell, and I know it's your grace. All my days I will sing your praise. See how far you brought me. I'm so glad you found me worthy. I can see, I can tell, and I know it's your grace.
I'm here with Dr. Clever Gomba. He's the president of Living Waters Theological Seminary and pastors the Apostolic Faith Mission Church in Waterfalls, Mainway Meadows, where we were at on Sunday and have been at the Bible school. It's my pleasure to interview you and find out all about your life, your ministry, the school, the church, your family, and maybe starting with the school. We've enjoyed teaching there. It's a wonderful school. Tell us a little of the background, the history, the milestones of the school.
It was established in February 1974.
Wow.
By a missionary from the United States of America who was called Willard Wilson. Is the one who saw the gap and the need to train men and women for ministry in Zimbabwe. It was still Rhodesia at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And he established this college in 1974.
Wow.
Since that year, Living Waters Bible College has been training pastors, evangelists, teachers of the word across the world, not only in Zimbabwe, but including countries such as Mozambique, Malawi, South Africa, Botswana, Uganda, Burundi, DRC, and many other African countries. They've sent their students through Living Waters since 1974 or up to date. After the departure of Willard Wilson in 1977, another missionary called him Ron Kenia also led Living Waters, and later on he was succeeded by Dr. Roselle from America again, and later on by Dr. Constantine Mrefu. After Dr. Constantine Mrefu, Apostle Lovejoy Chabata became the principal. After his departure, that's when I was appointed principal of Living Waters from the year 2020 up to date. And
Wonderful.
Since then, Living Waters has trained around 6,000 pastors since its inception. And it has opened the branches in Mozambique, in Tete, in Maputo, in Beira, and Chimoio. And currently with our online campus, we've got students from Australia, New Zealand, and across Africa, and even the United Kingdom and the United Arab Emirates. We have students.
Whoa.
That's a bit of background.
We're doing that online.
Sure.
Wow.
Yes.
That is amazing. It has just grown and grown. I go back to Constantine Mrefu when he was the president and teaching at Living Water, but it's grown enormously since then. Give us an idea of how many years, how many students currently. I think it's a 3-year program, but tell us a little bit about the curriculum.
Yeah. The diploma in theology or diploma in ministry at Living Waters Bible College is a 3-year program. It's a 3-year program. Currently, we've got around plus 400 students full-time and around 150 online, which makes a total of 550 students. In terms of training, our program is divided into various categories. There is the theological, which focuses more on the lectures, Old Testament studies, New Testament studies, systematic theology, biblicals, practical subjects such as leadership, administration, counseling, psychosocial or studies in ministry, etc. Then also our training focus on spiritual formation, developing the spiritual life of the students, focusing on activities such as prayer, devotions, chapel services, and fasting programs, and also community engagement, where our students at times visit prisons, hospitals, orphanage places, so that they also have an orientation and appreciation of the practicals dealing with the less privileged and the marginalized of the community. Then the other aspect also of training is on vocational, imparting them with the skills such as gardening, general cleaning of the school. They're involved in what we call duties, where they do a bit of gardening, farming, and welding, etc., so that they are equipped with practical skills. Because at times when they graduate, they go and work in very remote and rural communities. Besides ministry, they can get involved in empowering the congregants in gardening, in farming, etc. That's some of the practicals they do after lectures.
And I
And
know
the student,
because
yes,
your studies didn't stop at Living Waters. You went on and got a doctorate.
yes.
Where did you do your postgraduate studies, the beyond Living Waters?
Okay.
What doors open?
My studies in theology up to master's level. Then later on, I realized in ministry there were many other areas I could be functional in the area of conflict resolution and the leadership. And I started to pursue studies in conflict resolution.
Wonderful.
With the Africa University. It's a Methodist university in Zimbabwe. And I did my master's there in leadership, governance, and conflict resolution. Immediately after finishing, I got another master's in international relations with the Midland State University in Zimbabwe. Then later on, I got a PhD with the University of KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa, a PhD in international relations, but focusing more on leadership and
that is beautiful. Give us an idea of the size of the Apostolic Faith Mission, and I know there's been a multiplication of that ministry, that it's really twofold of what you're describing.
Yes.
But just give maybe the viewer an idea of its size.
Apostolic Faith Mission is a very big church which was founded by John Graham Lake, an American missionary who came to South Africa from America, who went through also the ministry of Alexander Dowie and the Azusa Street Revival. He is connected to that. Then he came and arrived in Zimbabwe in April 14 in 1908 and started the AFM in South Africa on 25 May 1908. And later on, because of his ministry, many migrant workers were coming from Zimbabwe, Rhodesia then, South Africa, went through his crusades and received Jesus through the ministry of John Graham Lake. When they came back to Zimbabwe, they came back with that gospel to Zimbabwe. And from 1913, 1910, 1911, 12, 13, AFM in Zimbabwe was established. So it has been in Zimbabwe for over 115 years now.
Wow.
Currently with plus 800 ordained pastors in Zimbabwe and plus 800 branches in Zimbabwe, with a following of plus 1 million in Zimbabwe currently, plus 1 million, with 18 schools, primary and secondary schools in various locations in Zimbabwe.
Wow. And we want to encourage anyone who's viewing this to go to those sites and to financially get involved, because this ministry is doing so much. What are some of the things you would like to do and envision doing as next steps for the ministry?
Okay. In terms of the Bible College, our strategic direction and vision is to broaden our training to focus on North Africa, from Central Africa and North Africa. We have started offering scholarships where we are taking students from Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda, Somalia, Ethiopia to come and train at Living Waters without paying for accommodation, without paying for boarding fees and tuition fees, as our way of giving back. We are saying this college was started by missionaries from America in the mid-70s, 1974. It's many people from America who funded the establishment of this college. And we are thinking now, let's take initiative to reach other African countries, other Islamic countries, and train and capacitate. We know when we train ministers of the gospel and missionaries, they will have an impact within their community. So currently we've got students from Uganda, Burundi. Those are some of the initiatives. But currently, because the boarding facilities are limited, we can accommodate only 115 students. Our target is to grow that number of boarding facilities to even 200 students, focusing in taking students from these other African countries and train them and send them back to their various countries and minister to their countries. Not only English-speaking countries, we are focusing on Portuguese-speaking countries. That's why we are focusing on Mozambique, so that from Mozambique we are able to reach Angola, Portuguese-speaking countries, and also focus on Francophone or French-speaking countries. Hence, we are taking students from French-speaking countries to Living Waters, but when they are trained, they can go back. So, I want to develop our dormitories for these international students. That's our next major step as Living Waters.
And you're investing in these students, covering their food, their accommodation, their studies, and the vision to send them strategically to places, having invested all that into them. So the building of the dormitories and obviously the running budget at the school to feed 115 every day. I saw a nice mealie crop, and I know that was one of the practicals that they have there. But that is such a beautiful vision. We want to encourage anyone viewing this that your dollars would be so well spent in useful sites. It's such a joy to have gotten to know you over the years since I've been coming back. And your heart for ministry and mission and training, that's my heart. And I know that's the heart of God because He loves all people. And Zimbabwe, a sending nation. And you guys are doing a big part of that. We're so excited to partner with you.
Thank you. We also appreciate your coming to Living Waters. Whenever you're in Zimbabwe, you come to teach our students and share your various experiences and content from the books which you have written, which I've also read, and which I also recommend other readers to read as they share practical experiences in ministry and various initiatives we are doing in many other countries. We really appreciate.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It's been
you,
my pleasure. Absolute pleasure.